out of the house. Hello guys, this is 6Blade9 here, and this is my account, brand new account pretty much. And I have about 100 game on it with 52% win rate. And I'm gonna be telling you guys, I'm gonna make actually, should I make it this video? Alright, I'm gonna make another video for Leming, and but this one I'm gonna be talking about how to escape Elo Hell, or how the matchmaking system is for Hero of the Storm, um, and why it seems really difficult for players to plan and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, I was at about 63% win rate, and I was at silver 3. Like, now completely filled the bar. I was pretty much about around here with silver 3. And pretty soon after that, I started losing matches, and I just lost a lot of matches. Um, if I want to win match, okay, I have to play people like Chen, like my Smurf characters. I have to play them. I'm gonna make a video for Rhaegar. Um, I have to play people like Greymane. But I'm gonna make a video for Lemane today, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna make a video for Rhaegar. All right, so what I'm talking about for Elo Hell is pretty much you have this system, the Hero of the Storm matchmaking system, and it's kind of like rewarding in a sense, but it isn't in your favor. Like, you guys can agree with me that when you play matches, sometimes like it just looks like the like Blizzard just want you to lose, like pretty much, right? And I'm gonna say straight up, like I agree with this assumption pretty much, because from my experience right now, like trying to climb with this account, it doesn't seem like my matchmaking the matchmaking system is in my favor, because like every time I like increase my win rate, every time I like increase my KD, my KDA and stuff like that, like I always end up with like the worst, like the very worst players in the game. Um, Not in the sense of play, just in the sense of like drafting. Like I get players who really don't care about the draft. Overall, like they will pick characters like Medivh, even though they are silver, and which mean they are bronze, or pretty much like they never played a game for like months on end and it just arrived into the game. They will pick characters like TLV that they don't know how to play at all. They will take characters like Maiev, Medivh, stuff like Valera and stuff like that, that they have no idea how to play, and it doesn't even match the overall team from whatsoever. And this is like a rant, pretty much. It seems like a rant, and I'm sure like a lot of people, I'm not like the only person who's gonna say this. Like a lot of people will complain that I'm doing draft. Like it's really hard for you to like talk with these guys, and like it's a game, right? It's a game that you want to win, right? You queue up so that you can win your matches, so that you can rank up. But in these guys' minds, like they queue up so that they can have fun. Like competitive competition, right? Competition is different from like fun, right? Like it is like competition is supposed to be fun, right? In the sense that you are prepared to compete, like you enjoy competing and stuff like that. But competition is not correctly, I mean, it's not directly related to fun, right? Sometimes you have to play stuff that you don't want to play, right? Sometimes you have to play healer even though you don't want to play healer. Sometimes you have to play tanks even though you don't want to play tanks. Sometimes you have to drop that 32% win rate butcher that you just pick, so that you can take a tank so other people can carry you and stuff like that, even though you don't want to do that, right? So this is what I'm talking about, right? This is the Elo Hell, right? Elo Hell is real, right? Um, like I want to sympathize with everybody because like I've experienced this, and it's actually true. Like it is really really difficult for you to climb. But this is the motivational factor that I'm gonna add to it is that as you play these matches with these guys, you should not give up. Like you should keep trying hard. And the best way to like try to start climbing up is pretty much like don't be toxic, right? Don't be toxic to these guys. But doing draft, like tell people what you want pretty much. Like tell people like if they have a bad character, tell them that this character here it doesn't contribute anything to the team and it's gonna be a bit difficult for us to win match with this character. It doesn't really matter what you say to them. Like in the end they will do whatever they want to do, but at least you put it out there. Some people who actually have brains will actually like think about it, think it through, and like change that pick and whatsoever like that. Also, it's also up to you, right? If somebody hover over like a butcher, for example, right, and you completely tilted, like the moment you saw that butcher, like you knew you're gonna lose because that butcher is just gonna feed all game. Um, because low elo players are just garbage, right? And you just tilt right away and instead of actually picking something like a TLV to like just give up on the match overall, right? Pick something that can like complete the draft in a sense. If you have to pick a healer and everybody is like hovering like DPS and stuff like that, and people are hovering Nova, people are hovering like Murky and stuff, right? You'll be the person to like take responsibility, right? You'll be the leader in that case. You'll be the more mature person, right? And pick the tank or pick a healer or pick something that is supposed to be like a decent matchup for a draft, right? I think that's one way you can mitigate getting like a trash draft and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's for draft, guys. Like that's for draft. If you are banning and picking and stuff like that, like if somebody say ban this character or ban so and so character, and you know that the character really doesn't like bring anything. It really isn't that difficult to go against. Sometimes you might have to ban that character because otherwise, like if you don't do that, like for the entire game, that person is just gonna sit down and just start texting. Like it will just sit there in the base or whatsoever, just go AFK and text to the entire team for the entire match. Like they won't do anything apart from like testing about a particular thing that you didn't do, right? So that's one of the problem with like this overall matchmaking system, like and people in general, like just bad people. Like I don't know what to say, like bad players, right? Like for example, like sometimes like you will hover over like a wave clear character, right? Let's say Probius, for example. You hover over Probius, and then somebody like when the match starts, somebody will say we don't have wave clear, right? That this is happening in silver, right? This is happening in low elo. But some people like they would just speak as if like they haven't played this game like in years or they don't know what this game is at all, right? So that's how this matchmaking system is. So when you queue solo queue, just expect that the people you're gonna be with are just gonna be like elite AI in a sense, right? So that's an advice. Okay, that's the advice part. And how can you win your matches, right? How can you like as for me, right? The problem that I face is that I don't like carrying people too much, right? I have a standard for myself and I kind of hold people to that standard as well, right? And I just hate like carrying people. And this year it's a comment from a Blaze from the previous match that I just had. I actually reported him for child abuse because I ignored him for once and he kept messaging me and stuff like that. So I actually reported him. Anyways, that's one of the things, right? So what was I talking about? All right. So how do you win your matches, right? In match, to win, what you gotta do is keep track of the timer, right? Number one, keep track of your timers, right? Usually, your team will want to fight in the middle. Your team will want to fight in the on a shrine, like on a node or whatever, right? And you might have to follow them and do that stuff whatsoever like that, right? I think I will actually advise for you to follow them, and why pinking them to retreat or something like that, because if you don't, right, they're just gonna go and just feed. Like you will get like three people dead like in 1 second of the match starting, right? So that's one of the thing, right? So keep track of your timer after you guys do that fight and your allies are fed or whatever. Um, at 50 seconds, right? Start heading out towards your lane. If you're a bruiser, head towards your bruiser lane. If you are like a character that can do camps and stuff, you gotta ask somebody to go to your lane so that you can do camps. If nobody's going there, uh, I think you should like start heading towards the camp, right? I don't think like if you don't go to your lane, like somebody will like just push your lane through and like just kill your fort whatsoever. You might lose like a tower whatsoever. But if the camp is that important, is if the objective is like on the other side of the map and you have to like get that camp so that you can like move on or whatever, head towards that camp and do it, right? So that's one of the things, right? Keep track of your timers and know what you're supposed to be doing, and try to communicate that. Maybe ping that you are going towards the camp, and then ping assist on your lane and ask somebody to go there and stuff like that. And maybe if these AIs are pretty good, they will actually go towards that lane and try to soak for you. What else? Also, if you are like, let's see, the higher up you go in like in ranks and stuff, you might not want to do camps alone, right? So you might have to like ping your allies to like ping a healer or somebody to like come with you towards your camp and just stand around for just a little bit and then they can leave and stuff like that. So that's for like higher elo. What else? Apart from time, let's look at level, right? SP level. Sometimes you might have to like give up, you might have to give up objectives, and that's pretty much like after level 10, right? You might have to give up an objective and stuff like that if you are behind in XP and stuff like that, right? So before level 10, you can kind of like fight, like your enemies don't have ultimates and stuff like that, and you guys can like duke it out. It depends like on the skill level and stuff like that. But after level 10, like your enemies get like extra power, and before instead of just going into the team fight and like fighting and like dying and stuff and going on a longer cooldown, right? It will be better for you to actually just give up the objective and do something else, right? If you have towers and stuff like that up, right, it isn't really that bad if you lose them, right? Just think about your towers as things that will like buy you time for you to like catch up and stuff like that. So if you are losing, and don't give up, right? That's part of it. Like get SP and don't give up. If your enemies are like at 20 and you guys are like 18 or 19 or whatever, and your both of your forts are down and you are only at a keep, you guys should not be going out looking for gangs and stuff like that. You guys should actually be staying closer to your base, closer to your keeps, and waiting for like XP to come to you, like waiting for the minions to come to you. The farther away the enemies are from their base, the more dangerous you guys become, the more advantageous you guys become. Because you guys have fountains, they have to go all the way back to go and tap. And you guys can just walk towards the fountain and drink like that. And you guys have towers. These towers can do damage for you guys as well. And you guys are on your side of the map, right? So that's one of the things people gotta take in consideration, right? What else? Team fights, right? Team fights. Let's talk about team fights. So there are different ways that teams can win fights, right? The first way is by numbers. Like you guys have like five people, the other guys have like two people against you guys, and you guys kill them. Okay, so that's one of the thing that I would like to warn people about. Like, don't go to fights alone. Like, don't go to like if somebody is like pinging like the boss on the enemy side of the map or on your side of the map, and you are like a DPS or whatever, or you are like a bruiser or a tank or whatever you are. Do not go to that ping to that position, to that location or whatever. Do not go there alone, right? You have to wait for your ally. If you have to lose that boss whatsoever, lose it, right? Don't go there alone, especially like after level 10. You don't want to do that because once you do that, right, and you get cut and you get killed, that's pretty much a boss and then five people against four people, right? And let's say like you went there, you got killed, and then somebody is like right behind you, and they think they can also go there and like assist you whatsoever, and they too got killed, right? In the meantime, that's like 3v5 with a bus, right? So do not go towards a bus if they ping you, right? To go there, do not go there alone. You gotta wait for your allies, and they will actually help you get that objective, or you guys can lose it and like defend it and stuff like that. That's for team fight. I already talked about SP level. It also matters in team fights and stuff. And team fights, you guys always have to be there together, right? Especially if it is an objective that you guys have to capture, right? You always want like your team to be there first, so that you guys can position better. Okay, number two or number three, whatsoever that is. Positioning is also very important for team fights, right? Positioning always depends on your tank and your bruiser, right? Your tank and your bruisers, these guys are your vision for your team, right? These guys are supposed to scout around because they are beefy and because like people will not just rush into them and start fighting them, right? People want to attack the DPS, people want to attack the healer, right? So if you're a DPS, you should not be the one face checking bushes, right? You should not be the first person to rush into a bush to go set up for your team whatsoever like that. If you're a DPS or a healer, you should let your tank go and do that stuff. If they are not doing it, you want to ping those position and like maybe text them to tell them that they have to go there and like position for you guys. And doing objective, doing like when you guys are capturing bosses and stuff, always like check the bushes around the boss before you guys go and do it, right? And also before you go towards a boss to like capture it and whatever like that, you want to make sure like you know where the enemies are, at least you have like a hint where they are. And also you don't want to walk through a minion before going towards the boss, right? You don't want to fight minions on that lane before going towards the boss. You want to pass in like a brush, you want to hide, you want to make sure that they don't know where you guys are before going towards that boss. If there is one person like away from the boss, that person should actually be actively killing minions in whatever lane that is away from the lane where you guys are doing the boss, so that people can think like everything is normal, right? That's one way you guys can do bosses without like getting cut and stuff like that. What else? Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's talk about the overall ranking points and stuff, right? So as I was saying, I was like 63% win rate whatsoever, 65 or something like that above a few days ago, and I started losing, right? So the better you become at this game, not the better you become, like the higher like your win rate become and all of those skilling and stuff like that, the worse the team is gonna be, right? I don't know why, but that's how it is. So your reward for like playing with like a bunch of AIs, elite AIs, is pretty much like 200 or 201 Storm League points, right? So yeah, so if like so when you come around this position like around here pretty much, right, and you're about to rank up, that's when you will get like the worst players, right? Every time you're about to like do like a ranking up match, you always get like people that will like go AFK. You will get like no matter what who you are, pretty much like you will always get people like that, and like you just have to fight through it. If you are lucky, you will climb. If you are not lucky, like you will lose. that match and just have to repeat and stuff like that. So pretty much like as I was saying, right? The higher your your win rate, the lower your team is gonna be in win rates and pretty much in skills and stuff like that. So you are supposed to carry these guys, and that's how it is. Also, if you want to rank up, if you're going to play a healer, you should play a healer that is meta, right? Play healers that will always win, that will usually win that matchup. Pretty much play healers with like high win rates and stuff like that, and just I don't know, like play stuff that will like help allow you to like carry your team. That will be like super effective doing team fights and stuff like that. So that's how you will claim if you are playing something that is passive, right? If you're playing DPS, play DPS that are really burst heavy, so that you can contribute towards like getting kills and stuff. Because later on in matches, like getting kills is all about. I mean, it's all about like getting kills and stuff like that. So play characters that are burst heavy. Um, yeah, and that is gonna be it for Elo Hell and pretty much like my experience pretty much and like how you could probably like capitalize and like climb and stuff. As for me, like when I see people playing bad, I usually just point it out and it makes them play even worse. I don't know why. I try to like get rid of this, but it's like always there. I always like tell people when they are playing shitty, and that's why it's like really hard for me to climb because that's just how I am. So I've been working on that, and yeah. All right. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna make a next video, and this video is gonna be only me, and it's gonna be nasty. She does insane damage, so that's that.